The Louvre, the world's most famous museum. A fortress of art, history, and unimaginable wealth. But behind its marble walls lies a century-long story of theft, obsession, and mystery. From the stolen Mona Lisa to the vanished royal jewels of 2025. This is the Louvre Heists. It began on a quiet Monday morning, August 21, 1911. Paris woke up to an empty frame. The asterisk Mona Lisa asterisk gone. No alarms, no broken glass, just missing. For 2 years, the world speculated. Some blamed the Germans, others said it was an inside job. Even Picasso was questioned. But the truth, it was stolen by Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman who once worked at the museum. He hid inside the museum overnight. In the morning, dressed in a worker's smock, he lifted the painting off the wall, removed it from its frame, and walked out the door. No one stopped him. He kept the masterpiece in a trunk under his bed for asterisk 2 years. When he tried to sell it to an art dealer in Florence, he was caught. The Mona Lisa returned to the Louvre in 1913, to a hero welcome. But that heist lit a spark, proving even the Louvre could be breached. The second heist, 1976. 65 years later. Paris again. The target this time, the crown jewels of France. Thieves slipped into the museum's Galerie de Pollen under the cover of night. Security systems were primitive, simple alarms, rotating guards. The robbers cut power to the gallery, smashed display cases, and took pieces once worn by French royalty. Among them, the asterisk Regent diamond replica and several priceless tiaras. Most were later recovered, but some pieces never seen again. The police called it a ghost operation. No fingerprints, no leads, no suspects. The Louvre strengthened its security, but history had already whispered its warning. The art syndicate era, 1990s to 2000s. By the 1990s, the black market for stolen art was worth billions. And the Louvre became a dream target for crime syndicates across Europe. Interpol linked a network called the Black Circle, a shadow group that traded art for weapons, jewels for cash, and masterpieces for influence. Rumors said some of their buyers were private collectors, wealthy, untouchable, and hidden behind shell companies. In 2007, a minor Louvre theft barely made headlines. A small 17th-century drawing disappeared during renovation. Recovered weeks later in a private auction in Brussels. It was a test run. Someone was studying the system again. The Modern Heist, 2025. April 12, 2025. The Louvre prepared for its annual royal exhibition, a showcase of jewels once owned by Marie Antoinette, Napoleon's Empress Josephine, and several European monarchs. Security was at an all-time high. AI surveillance, facial recognition, heat sensors, motion grids. Yet at 2:47 a.m. the cameras glitched. Every feed froze for 3 minutes. When they came back online, the glass display of the Antoinette Sapphire Parure was shattered. The jewels, worth over $120 million, were gone. No alarms triggered, no guards injured. Only one clue remained, a white rose left on the pedestal. Within hours, the French police, Interpol, and Europol launched Operation Renaissance. They tracked the stolen jewels across digital black markets, tracing crypto wallets and coded signals hidden in art auctions. The thief or thieves had planned every detail. They bypassed temperature sensors by syncing them to an identical mirrored system. They jammed internal frequencies using a modified 6G disruptor. Even the ventilation shafts they used were mapped years in advance. Investigators believed it was the same network behind several museum robberies across Europe. The White Rose Group. Silent, surgical, vanishing after every strike. A twist in the trail. Weeks later, a Louvre insider confessed. The museum's restoration technician, Marc Duval, had been blackmailed. His family was threatened. He leaked digital blueprints of the security system. Days after confessing, Duval vanished. Interpol traced one of the jewels, a diamond pendant, to a private collector in Dubai. But when they arrived, the pendant was fake. The real one still missing. PRLLS2, the Mona Lisa heist. The similarities were chilling. A flawless plan, a quiet escape, a symbolic gesture. Just like Peruggia's theft over a century earlier. The same element of deception, stealing right under everyone's nose. The Louvre once again stood as both a victim and a legend. Every theft only deepened its myth. Every missing artifact, a reminder of human obsession with beauty, power, and ownership. The unsolved mystery. As of today, none of the 2025 jewels have been recovered. Interpol's investigation remains open. The rose left behind became a symbol, appearing in underground art forums and cryptic NFT drops. Again, history of theft repeat itself in Paris. October 19, 2025. The world's most visited museum, the Louvre, opened its doors to a normal Sunday morning. Visitors streamed through its grand halls. Guards performed their routines. Everything seemed ordinary. At 9:30 a.m., inside the gilded corridors of the Galerie de Pollen, the gallery that houses the French crown jewels, a team of 4 individuals struck. They were disguised as construction or maintenance workers, wearing high-visibility vests and arriving in a vehicle fitted with a mobile lift. Using a truck-mounted ladder, they accessed a second-floor balcony window overlooking the Seine and attached to the museum's facade. They used disc cutters and power tools to slice through the window and breach the protective glass of the display cases. The alarms sounded, but the operation was already in motion. Inside the gallery, the display cases containing heritage items, tiaras, necklaces, earrings, brooches, were smashed. The thieves grabbed 8 priceless pieces of French royal jewelry, some of which had belonged to Empress Eugénie, Queen Marie-Amélie, Queen Hortense, and Empress Marie-Louise. The crown of Empress Eugénie was also targeted, though dropped during the escape and later recovered in a damaged condition. The heist took between 6 and 8 minutes from start to finish, inside the museum for about 4 minutes. It all happened while the museum was open and visitors were present. The thieves fled on motorbikes, racing away from the scene as alarms echoed through the Louvre's grand halls. When the guards realized what had happened, the display cases stood open. The jewels were gone. The Louvre was evacuated. A shock rippled through Paris and the world. The hall's value was estimated at 88 million euros, approximately $102 million, though the true cost, the loss of heritage, of history, is immeasurable. Officials called it a national humiliation. The museum's director appeared before lawmakers. Security flaws were laid bare. A museum that stands as a symbol of culture had been penetrated. The stolen jewels, a sapphire tiara, sapphire necklace, and single sapphire earring from the set of Queen Marie-Amélie and Queen Hortense, the emerald necklace and pair of emerald earrings from the collection of Empress Marie-Louise, the tiara and large brooch of Empress Eugénie, the reliquary brooch. The investigation is ongoing. The suspects, the items, the route of escape, much remains unclear. Some pieces may be dismantled, stones removed, heritage lost. 3 days later, the Louvre reopened, though the Apollo Gallery remained closed, and visitors passed through knowing what had happened just steps away. What this heist reveals is chilling. The greatest treasures in the world may be behind glass, locked away, but they are still vulnerable. The boldness of the raid, the precision of the team, the timing, all point to orchestration at the highest level. For France, for the Louvre, this is more than a theft. It is a wound to its identity, a reminder that history can be stolen if no one is watching. And the story is far from over.